I didn't think when I was young I would be a barrister. I thought I'd be working in the coal mines in the West Midlands. But I think I really genuinely am one of the first products of the accessible bar. I am here purely through the generosity of the members of the Middle Temple who put their hands into their pockets and put their money, hard-earned money, into a pot for students that wanted to become barristers. And really, if we don't have a bar made up of the various different colours and backgrounds of which Britain is made up, that's fatal for the bar. That's when the institution will lose its legitimacy, its relevance, its importance in the mindset of the public.
That was one of the most difficult things I've ever had to encounter, actually. I hope that I don't experience that again. And I hope that if there is someone in that position, I'm going to fight tooth and nail for them not to be in that position, because it's not fair and it's not very dignified.
Kekoli's performance with the whole of Chambers, which was clearly difficult because it was a disappointment to be told that of the group of 4 candidates, there were some individuals who felt that she should not have been offered a tenancy. She acquitted herself remarkably well. There were 2 or 3 individuals who had some doubts, who were astonished by her performance in interview in very difficult circumstances, and I was very pleased for her. She was able to show firsthand why she's going to go a long way and be a capable advocate.
For a second time, Kekoli has got the job.
Certainly put a slight shadow upon my confidence as a barrister, and I'm so glad that throughout all of the difficulties, I just kept my head down and concentrated. What was really the most important thing was, preparing this Crown Court trial and representing my client. And I'm annoyed that I allowed it, my confidence, to have been dislodged in that manner. But what I'm sure of is that whatever's going on, still can do my work properly, which is, for me, the most important thing.
I think it is a harsh system because I think the numbers who actually succeed are relatively small, but ultimately there are far more people following the potential openings than there are openings available for them.
This climate of uncertainty has put the bar and the government on a collision course. The change to legal aid funding is the #1 concern for Tim Dutton and his colleagues at the Bar Council.
The Treasury has fixed the legal aid budget at £2 billion. That's for all family cases, all civil cases, and all criminal cases on legal aid that go through the system. In order for them to live within this £2 billion, they are imposing cuts in different parts of the service from time to time. So they're cutting £9 million out of high-cost criminal cases, £13 million from barristers in family cases, and they, in order to live within this £2 billion budget. The tension is that they think that we are in it for more money. That always creates a tension. They think solicitors and barristers are doing this for more money. They need to understand that we understand the economics, we understand that you've got to live within budget, but that you need to ensure you've got quality people working in the system for optimum rates of pay, and that requires what we call graduated fees, in other words, fees that are referred to the difficulty of the case, but do not permit you to run away with the budget.
The Bar Council knows it must guard against any perception that barristers are a wealthy elite.
Well, I'll give Sarah a ring.
They must convince the government and the public that more, not less, taxpayers' money should be invested in the law.
You need to have something new, newly created, a new vision, a new statement, a new document, in order to generate news coverage in your own terms of the issue.
How does the document help achieve anything?
Its strongest aspect is it gives you the sort of shallow end of the pool that we can lead people into, so that we can take them down to our sort of deep end where the issues are more profound.
Well, I think what the publicly funded bar want to get across to the public as a whole who pay for their cases is that they're scrawny moggies and not fat cats.
Quite often the cats that we're working with are very much in-demand practitioners who as a result aren't that scrawny because they're working away.
Yeah.
So there's a kind of there's a sort of Desmond's scrawniness test which needs to be dealt with.
Well, that's junior members of the bar.
Yeah, I think the
And
family's
it's not
quite
just,
important.
of course, the low level of fees, it's the appalling level of debt that young entrants to the profession now have and are struggling to pay back.
While the Bar Council tries to dispel the fat cat image, another attempt to break down an equally common assumption is underway. For the first time in their 400-year history, two Inns of Court, Inner and Middle Temple, have thrown open their doors to try to show the public that they're neither privileged nor exclusive. One of the organisers of the open day is Middle Temple's Social Secretary, Paul Darling QC.
A lot of people don't know what the bar is about and how it works. And I think that is a problem. We've got chambers open, so people can go and look inside chambers and see what's happening in there, see what a barrister's chambers looks like. We've got advocacy training happening in the Royal Courts of Justice, some of it involving children as the witnesses and defendants in the children's court.
The prosecution would like to call Mr. Billy Budd.
Mr. Budd, do you promise that the evidence you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
What do you think the motive of this attack was?
Jealousy and revenge because of my relationship with Mavis Clutterbuck.
Mr. Smith also wanted a relationship and was extremely jealous. Is that true?
Miss Prosecutor, do you think that you could ask the witness first about the details of what actually happened before the motive?
Iqbal is volunteering his services for the day.
I thought actually it'd be quite a simple thing to help out the Middle Temple, you know, which shows you how stupid I am, because they sent me sort of 40 pages of things to read up on, which I have diligently done. The problem is just remembering them.
During the war, all the glass was removed and replaced with plain glass. So when this was rebuilt after the war, all this was brought out of storage, and these are the original glass.
Oh, these are the original.
Which go back to 1570.
I didn't know that. I thought they were rebuilt.
No, they were all original.
To 1870?
1570.
1570.
Yep.
Right. The interesting thing is that a lot of visitors are quite worried that these stained glass windows are not original. But at the time of the war, what they did was they replaced all the glasses. They took them downstairs in the cellar and they put up, you know, just normal glass because they were afraid that it would be bombed. Then after the Second World War, when they rebuilt it, they put the originals back.
Tim Dutton is taking his campaign to the very top. He has a meeting with Jack Straw, a barrister himself, but now Secretary of State for Justice.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We're very familiar with it. Thanks. Hello.
Very nice to see you. Hello.
This is Andy Hill and Desmond Brown.
My time's pressing on account of the Law Lord's judgment in Davis. So, because I've got to sort out the bill, which we're publishing later on. So if we can...
Yeah, that's
great.
great.
All right. Thanks.
Do you want us anywhere in particular?
Phil, why don't you if you sit here...
Going back.
Tim, if you sit there...
Yeah, OK.
The thing I wanted to talk to you about is how we better align the supply of lawyers with demand, because part of the problem about a legal aid system is that if people are, particularly the bar, working full-time, then they can make a reasonable income, but there's this dreadful tail, because there are too many people chasing what is a significant increase in the work compared with when I started, most of us started, but is not enough work for everybody's around, because the numbers have increased by a factor of 3 since we all started. You can't get exact fits in terms of supply and demand for highly qualified people, but you can get a better fit than you have now, and you can actually also manage people's expectations better.